So let's talk about a movie that came out last week and that is not the Avengers and is not the movie that is destroying the box office and is not a movie that I typically would go see. It is not my type of genre, but I went and saw I Feel Pretty, which is a movie that has Amy Schumer in it, who is really the point of me going to see the movie because I think Amy Schumer is really funny, and even though it's not a genre that I really enjoy per se, I wanted to see her in it because I think that all the movies that I've seen her in that are quote unquote not for me personally, I think that she does great in these movies. I think that she's genuinely, her humor is the type of humor that I enjoy. Like, she always gets a laugh from me from these type of movies. And Amy Schumer she really makes me laugh, is what I'm trying to say. I think she's really, really hilarious. So that's why I went and saw this movie. And this movie is basic, romantic rom-com movie where, like, Amy Schumer works at this underground in this, working on the designs of this makeup empire where she's in the basement of this giant building where she wants to be on the top. She wants to be the one who's up there, but she's not quote unquote pretty enough, which is bullshit. That's seriously bullshit. Like, I think that she's really pretty too. It's just the thing I don't get about the movie is that I don't know, I don't understand how to take the joke of her, because Amy Schumer to me is not fat, and even if you're fat, that's fine, but I don't feel like she's overweight, and I think that the joke of the movie is, oh, she's fat, so she's not good enough looking for a modeling agency. And again, that's bullshit. I hate that we still have this type of shit where, like, girls are just, they can't get that because of their looks. I think that's unfair. I think that's really stupid. And the movie does a joke the whole movie where, like, she hits her head, and, like, before that she was conscious of how she looked and how she didn't think she was good enough to be part of this makeup place that she works at, and she hits her head and then she feels pretty. She feels like she actually is the most beautiful woman in the world, and I think that is funny in essence, but I think that the joke kind of falls flat, not because of them, but because of the joke in particular, because she's not that fat. Or she's not ugly. Like, it's not something I don't understand. Like, maybe it's purposefully like that. Maybe it's supposed to be where people are so pushy about how people look that maybe, even though she doesn't even look like ugly or fat, like, people are just making it seem like she's worse than what she is. And maybe that's the joke of the movie, that it's not really that bad and you should just look at yourself for what you are, looks wise. And I think that they're trying to do that, and I don't know what to think about the joke, like the joke of her being not good looking, because I think she is. I think she's really pretty, and I think that she shouldn't, like, I don't know, like, it's hard to explain because she's not, to me, she's not fat, she's not ugly, she's not, and it's not something that should be like her, like, just the way that she is treated in the movie is weird. And I know that she does that already, where she says she's fat and stuff in some things, but it's just, she's not. So that's the thing that annoys me about this movie. But I did enjoy this movie despite that joke, that whole running joke about how she's not good looking. But I think that she does bring a lot to this movie, because I think the writing isn't that good in this movie. Like, it's just really, like, simple, silly rom-com, like, comedy. And that's why I'm not really a big fan of rom-coms, because they're kind of the same, more of the same for me, and they're not the more of the same that I enjoy, like a horror movie or an action movie. But I think that she brings a lot to a little bit, because there's not much to gravitate on to with this movie, because it's not written very well. A lot of the jokes fall flat. I feel like they would have fallen more flat if she wasn't involved, for me personally. There were some jokes where I lost it just because it's her, and I think that some of the jokes are really funny just because of her performance. I think that she really sells this role, and I think that she is really funny in the movie, and I think there are a lot of moments where I just lost it. And it's typical, besides that, the plot's typical rom-com. Like, she wants to be part of this bigger job, but she's good enough, she hits her head, she becomes pretty, and then after that, she meets a guy, fall in love, and pretty much is it. So the plot is not something for me to care about, because it's not really my genre. But overall, I think Amy Schumer did a good job. I thought she was funny. I thought all the other actors were funny. I thought it was hilarious that Michelle Williams was in this movie, because for most of the movies she's been in recently, she's been in a lot of serious like dramas, and she's a really good actress. Like, she's damn good. But it's funny that she's in this, and she's got this weird ass voice as the kind of cover girl of this makeup thing, where like she's like the big star of the thing, and Michelle Williams just has this voice that I've never heard her talk before. In a way, like, she sounds really off and really weird, but it's the joke. It's funny though. Like, she talks really strange. Her voice is like really high pitched, and or really low. Like, it's a low kind of like, not gravelly, but it's a low type of voice that she's doing in this movie, and it's really strange. Never heard her sound like that before, and she does it the whole movie, and it's funny because I've never seen her sound like that, but that's pretty much just the joke. And again, like that, it's pretty much the same in the whole movie. It's like they're just kind of doing one-note jokes, but Amy Schumer saves it a little bit for me, and Michelle Williams saves it a little bit for me. Some of the other characters saved it a little, like the guy that she is her friend that they fall in love. Like, he's funny too. Like, he has some funny moments. But overall, like I said, it's not my type of genre. It's not one that I go to watch movies, really. But because Amy Schumer was in it, I did see it, and I thought she was good in it. Even some of the stuff she said was bad, but that's because of the writing. But for the most part, she saved a lot of stuff that I thought would have been worse. And I thought the actors involved were good and fine. But it's just the typical rom-com story. It's not anything that I personally like in terms of the plot. But the humor was great. Some of the humor is fine. Some of the humor is bad. So overall, it's a really mixed bag for me. It's not a genre I like, but Amy Schumer was funny for most part, and a lot of the other actors were funny for the most part. So this one was really not, there was not much else to say about this. It's just an okay movie. It's not one that I'll rewatch again, but I enjoyed a couple elements of it. So overall, it's one that I won't watch again, but I didn't feel wasted on watching it.